Hello everyone. COMSOL is a finite element method based simulation tool. Tapered cantilever with two load cases. Aim. The cantilever beam has a thickness of 0.1 meter, width of 4 meter and is 4 meter on its long edge and 2 meter on its short edge. Two cases are considered. In the first one, a gravity load mg acts in the negative y direction with an acceleration of 9.81 meter per second square. The left end boundary is fully fixed, that is no displacements. In the second case, gravity load is not present and instead a uniformly distributed horizontal load F of 10 meganewton per meter acts along the right end. At the left end, there is no displacement in the x direction. Also, at a midpoint location, the left end is fixed in the y direction. However, in the present case, we will be demonstrating only 2D and 3D models. Now, the material model that we are going to consider is an isotropic material whose Young's modulus or the elasticity modulus is 210 GPa, Poisson ratio is 0.3, density is 7000 kilogram per meter cube. So with this as our background, the following will be the procedure. Open your COMSOL console and then go to the model wizard. In the model wizard, since the first experiment is a 2D model of a 3D analysis, we shall consider only the 2D model and then find out how the analysis looks like by a realistic approximation to a 3D model. Select 2D. In the physics types, we have several number of physics parameters. In this case, we will be considering only the mechanical model of a solid body. Hence choose structural mechanics and solid mechanics of a solid. Double clicking of which will add it automatically. Once added, it will be appearing in the added physics interfaces. Then proceed to the study. In the study, a several number of preset studies are available. However, it is customary for most of the experiments that are not a real world demonstration of any new proposition to actually use only stationary model. So double clicking on stationary will actually add the stationary in the added study. So once the stationary is added, click on done. Now a setup will be available where you will be able to see the different types of model builder options, followed by the settings window for the geometry and a graphics window as a graphical user interface which can be navigated in the stroboscopic space. Primarily, we will be dealing with a study in which a particular polygon is being made out of a structure created through the geometry procedures inside the COMSOL multiphysics. So in the geometry procedure, first what we will do is on the geometry toolbar we will be clicking on primitives. So if you go on the toolbar side, you will be finding that there is a geometry toolbar. Please click on the primitives, and when the primitives is there, kindly choose Bezier polynomial. Bezier polynomials are a set of points where you will be able to draw arbitrary polynomial shapes. In the Bezier polynomial, a settings window will be available. Locate the polynomial polygon segment. In the polygon segments, you have to add a linear segment because none of the suppositions in our model have any demonstrations for quadratic or cubic segments. That is why this is a linear segment in which sharp edges are present. In quadratic and cubic, there will be smooth edges. So it would be difficult to analyze the parameterization of a sweep through a mesh, especially at smooth edges. So we'll start with adding a linear segment. In this linear segment, please choose the control points in which the second row has different parameters. Although the primary one or the first row is always set to 0, 0 in order to keep them at the origin of the coordinate system. So in the second row, set x to 4 and then set y to 1. Click on add linear. Again, in this as well, we are going to set row 2 with y value 3. Then again add linear. Followed by that, go to row 2, set x to 0 and y to 4. Again add linear. Thus for a polynomial, it would be recommended that there are at least 4 points in order to form a quadrilateral type of shape. Using Bezier polynomial, it is possible to have a trapezium type of a shape through which the sweep is easier in order to apply the meshing conditions. Then after this, you have to close the curve. This is how the end points meet and a complete curve is being formed. Of course, the analysis not being a curved shape, since we are not adding the cubic and quadratic forms. But it is recommended that you close the curve in order to meet the points to form a closed surface. Followed by that, go to point 1, that is in the primitives, you will be having an option of points. Click on the points and then in the settings of that points, you will be able to see the y field. Please change the y field to 2. Followed by that, go to the form union of the geometry. You have to click on build selected every time you have a shape completed. Then let us select the material for this polygon. The material will be from the material model, where being the material model, a number of options are available in which you have to select some of the user defined materials or built-in materials. Now right clicking on the materials, it is possible to add a blank material. Whenever a blank material is added, it means a user defined material is being applied to the shape. In the settings window, please change the values of the Young's modulus E, nu and rho. In order to see the screen properly, please expand the screen and then find out what kind of a unit it is having and enter these values for E. 210 GPa. For Poisson ratio 0.3. For density 7000. Space kg per meter cube. Click outside and then we need to predefine some of the definitions. For this, you have to go to definitions and choose load group. In the global definition, click on the global definition, right click, find load group. From the load group, you will be seeing LG1. Please change it to LG gravity. And then you have to change the name of this load group 1 by right clicking and renaming this. Load group 1 should be renamed load group gravity. Then go into the model builder window. Again add another load group. In this, change load group 2 into a load group of force, that is LG force. Followed by that, right click on the load group to rename it as load group force. Now let us add the constraints. Right click on the definitions and then choose constraint group. Change the CG1 group to CG gravity and then rename CG constraint group 1 into constraint group gravity. Followed by that, add another one as a constraint group. CG2 should be changed into CG force, as well as renaming of this constraint group as constraint group force. Now we are ready to set up the model. Now it is necessary for us to go into the important solid mechanics, which is the physics of our material. In the solid mechanics, it is possible to see the 2D approximation of the settings. That is, you will be seeing plane strain. Please change it to plane stress, because we will be seeing the stress analysis as an important case for our present discussion. Then locate the thickness section. In the thickness section, please change D from value 1 to 0.1. First define all constraints for both load cases and then assign them to different load and constraint groups. For this, we will go into the fixed constraint first. On the physics toolbar, please click on the boundaries, and in the boundaries choose fixed boundary, fixed constraint. In the fixed constraint, select boundaries 1 and 3. If you click over your mouse over the material, the geometry will be able to highlight some of the boundaries. If you select those boundaries, you will be seeing the selection happening manually. However, you will be not having a perfection in selecting all the materials and then taking the option of deleting some of them in order to retain your desired numbers. This can be avoided by using this paste selection option. Paste selection option allows you to select some of the sets of boundaries directly by inputting. Separate the selections through comma. So it is easier that way to perform the selections. Let me show you how it is performed by removing all the boundaries. So now I will be adding through paste selection, that is 1, 3. Only these two boundaries are going to be selected for this fixed constraint. On the physics toolbar, click constraint group and choose constraint group gravity. In the constraint group gravity, automatic constraints that are added from the global definitions will be absorbed. Next, let us add the body load. On the physics toolbar, click domains and choose body load. In the body load, you will be seeing the settings where you need to choose the domain 1 only. From page selection, I'll just type 1. Here in the settings window for body load, look at the force section. All the time the force section will be at the bottom of the settings window. And then change the second row from 0 to -G underscore CONST star solid dot RHO. Actually, this is a predefined constant for acceleration due to gravity. However, it is not the same value as 9.31 meter per second square, but instead it has some of the non-inertial components as well as inertial components of gravity due to the varying values of densities of the selected material. On the physics toolbar, click load group and choose load gravity, that is load group gravity. We will be adding the rollers in this context. On the physics toolbar, click boundaries and choose rollers. In the rollers, select boundary 1 and 3 only. On the physics toolbar, click constraint group and choose constraint group force. Next, the boundary load 1 is added. Choose boundaries and then select boundary load. From this, select boundary 5 only. In the settings window for boundary load, locate the force section. As already told, force section is the last part of any settings window. And in that, from the load type, choose load defined as force per unit length instead of force per unit area. For FL, a user defined value should be given for the X value, which is 10 meganewton per meter. On the physics toolbar, click load group and choose load group force. Now, on the fixed constraint 2, we need to have a points. On the physics toolbar, click points and choose fixed constraint. Now we will be doing the meshing part, where the simplest of the meshes will be selected. Simply right click on the mesh and then choose build all. With this option, the study should be performed as follows. This is the stationary study. So expand the study 1 node, click step 1 stationary. In the stationary settings window, click to expand the study extensions. Click on define load cases. In these load cases, make sure that you will be able to add one of them. Click on add and then the following table appears with load case 1. Change the name of the load case 1 to gravity. By double clicking on them, the entire screen will go into edit mode. And then choose SG gravity and CG gravity. Again click on add. Again double clicking on which you can enter the edit mode, change to force. Now select LG force and CG force. The study extension for the load cases should look similar as shown above. On the model toolbar, click compute. However, since COMSOL 5.0 has a lot of interfaces different from COMSOL 5.0, 5.2 will be having this option in the study. Click on the study toolbar and then select compute. You'll be seeing on the messages window how the computation is being performed as well as a progress bar. Depending upon the memory, you will be having a great deal of information. Some of the errors also will be encountered during this. We see that in the warnings, a new constraint force node has been detected but it has not been stored. This usually happens because we might have missed some of the parameters to be absorbed by the different sections of our geometry. If you look at fixed constraint, you see that there is no selection here. Actually, we need a selection for the fixed constraint. Let us add through this test selection and choose number 2. Now we'll go back into our study and then perform the computation. As we observe, it is clear that there is a progress bar and a perfect simulation has resulted. This simulation shows us that the force surface von Neumann stresses are available not just on the surface of our geometry but extruding beyond this geometry through a deeper region of red zone, and you can see the color mapping on the right to see that it is on the order of 10 power 7. Now at this point it is clear that we have done our meshing as well as found some of the basic details. COMSOL allows us to perform even finer details through the results analysis. How do we perform the details? The details are being done by the following procedure. That is, in the results, right click on stress, solid and then rename them. We shall name this as the normal stress. And then in the normal stress we shall click on surface 1. We see that the surface has a settings window. In this, click on replace expression. Usually replace expression can be found on the expression side of the right side in the settings window. In these expressions, make sure that you always select solid mechanics, and in this solid mechanics usually stresses are Gauss points, and in this Gauss points we shall be always evaluating the Gauss point at spatial, that is the stress tensor Gauss point evaluation of spatial. Now we shall select this point x. You can see the expression solid.s.gpx added here. Now click on plot. So you can see the deformation already appearing here on the graphics window. Now go to the 2D plot group, that is, first add plot group. From the results you can see this 2D plot group. Now in this 2D plot group Under the results, right click and then choose rename. We shall rename this 2D plot group as the following: shear stress. Now, with the shear stress selected in the 2D plot group, we shall go into the type of expression that is being solved. In the shear stress, click on the data section. In the data section, you will be seeing load case. Please select gravity in that. Then go to shear stress and choose surface. That is, if you expand this, you will be seeing normal stress surface 1, but in shear stress you will not be able to have the expansion button. So right click on that and then select surface. This will add a surface. So in the settings window for the surface, click on replace expression. Then again go to the same model, solid mechanics, followed by stress Gauss points, then stress tensor Gauss point evaluation, spatial. Then in this, select GPXY. By double clicking, the expression will be absorbed. And then right click on the results of shear stress surface. Then in that surface, click on choose deformation. On the results toolbar, click point evaluation. Go to the results toolbar. You will be having the derived values. There, click on point evaluation. In this point evaluation, you will be seeing the result being taken over. So right click on the point evaluation and then rename this point evaluation. Click on point evaluation 1 and then change 1 to hyphen normal stress. Click OK. Now select point 2 only. From the page selection, select point 2 only. Point 2 is this point. In the settings window, replace expression. Then choose the same thing. Model, solid mechanics. This time, stress tensor with stress Gauss points, followed by that the stress tensor Gauss point evaluation, and then choose solid dot is GPX stress tensor. By double clicking on that, the expression is absorbed. Now click evaluate. You will be able to see the table being generated. Again, on the results toolbar, click point evaluation. Go to derived values, click point evaluation. Now select the point evaluation and rename it as point evaluation shear stress. Hyphen shear stress. Now select the shear stress. In that, go to point 2 only. That is, again, let us select point 2. Now change the expression with the replace expressions. Go to model solid mechanics followed by stress Gauss points, and then choose Gauss point evaluation, stress tensor Gauss point evaluation, and then choose GPXY component, which is the second option. Double clicking on that will absorb the expression solid.es GPXY. Now click evaluate. This generates another group of table. So finally, in this experiment we can see that two graphs are generated as deformations due to normal stress and another due to shear stress, and finally two charts are formulated, one due to the point evaluation for normal stress and another due to the shear stress. So the tables can be found at the bottom of the log window. This is about the first experiment. Save this experiment